Want to skip to a specific segment? Use the timestamps in the description below. Hey Siri, what is the Waste of Time podcast?
The Waste of Time podcast is an independently recorded podcast that covers a wide range of topics, hosted by Let's Talk Cars host Oliver Giles.
Hello, welcome to the Waste of Time podcast, episode number 20. We're actually using a different recording style this time, which we'll talk about in a little bit because of, guess what? Viasat Inc. But we'll talk about that in a different slide entirely. Anyway, my name is Oliver Giles. I'm here again with Ben Rose. Say hello, Ben.
Hello, Ben.
Also, so we're using cell service because I'm actually outside. If there's any background noise, because I actually have to be outside for this because Viasat's internet's so bad we can't even do a Zoom call right now.
Yeah, fuck
We can't even do FaceTime audio with anything less than a 10-second latency delay. It's horrible. All right. So anyway, let's go on with life. Let's start with life in lockdown like we normally do.
All right. So general topics. Smoke gone. So when I wrote this down, this was yesterday. And now the smoke came back this morning. So
I actually rewrote that. I actually wrote that now. I actually wrote smoke gone maybe an hour ago.
I thought I wrote smoke gone.
No, you didn't. I did.
What the fuck did I write?
Nothing. It was blank. I think you wrote it and got rid of it.
Bruh. Yeah, because the smoke wasn't gone.
It's gone for me. I didn't. I thought it was. I looked at this today. I thought it was gone for you as well. No.
Air quality, and I jogged in that. I died. My lungs are dead today. I smoked a little.
So you did go for a jog then today.
I did go for a jog today. My first time in days. So.
Yeah, that's So any signs of it actually clearing at any point? Can you maybe tell at what point it's actually be cleared?
Yeah, so later today it cleared up significantly, and then it comes back in over the night, and then it during the day it's pretty good, but in the mornings it's really, really bad, and that's when I like to go out jogging. So, yay,
Rip.
Yay me.
Yeah, it's honestly for me I think we talked about it last time. It's it got better, then it got worse, then it got better, then it got worse. Right now we've had pretty much no smoke for I'd say the last 3-4 days, so it's been pretty good for where.
Yeah, because the fire's over there under control.
Yeah. Where is your how close is the closest fire to you? I guess.
The closest fire is, I think it's across the bay over in Lafayette and stuff like that. It's pretty far from us.
Didn't the Oakland Hills have a small fire as well at some point?
Yeah, that's Lafayette.
Yeah.
But how close is
I meant close. I meant closer to actually closer to Oakland though. Is what I meant. Actually closer to the actual place that is Oakland, not yeah.
Oh, Tilden. Yeah, I haven't heard about something like that. No. But
around where I am,
close.
I don't really. I'm actually gonna look this up right now. I don't really know. I don't think there are that many close to me.
Isn't there the SCU one that's huge in the Santa Cruz Mountains? It's it's right over there, and isn't there one in Salinas too?
I think there was one in Salinas a while ago. I think that's pretty much contained or gone now. But yeah, there's one that was I think in Gilroy, Morgan Hill, but not enough to actually affect any smoke or any air quality where I am. By the way, if you guys hear any squeaking noises, there are bats out here right now, so that's what the squeaking noises are.
Say hi to the bats. They're Waste of Time podcast listeners.
Yeah, I guess they are. Yeah. That's good. That's good. But yeah, so for me, I guess smoke's going away pretty much for me. So not so much for you then?
Yeah, no, at least for general topics, there's not a lot. I mean,
yeah.
What can I say?
All right, so Ben, let's start with your personal topic. I'll do mine last, like normal.
Yeah, so I started jogging again today. I actually wrote this yesterday when I was planning on starting jogging, and I was no, fuck it, too much smoke, so never mind, I'm not going to do it. So I kind of chickened out. And I've started jogging again because I feel like I need to do more cardio. I started doing 250 jumping jacks a day, and then 45 minutes of high knees, 45 minutes of something else. Because I don't have a treadmill like Oliver does, sadly. So I can't really have the luxury of doing cardio at home without hurting my feet. And so that's what's been going on. So I've been trading off foot health for general health, and I think it's been working. I've been able to keep my weight. I don't know if that's a good or bad thing. I think it's because I haven't been jogging, so I'm still 208 right now. But I feel like it's going down soon. I feel like a lot of that's muscle because I've been growing my arm muscles recently, so I feel good about that.
It's
Yeah.
It's like I've not been doing it. I actually did not do the treadmill today or 2 days ago. I did it yesterday. Like I'm still at 191 because I have not eaten that much like in excess. So I've not been like doing excessive eating. So I'm still at 191. So
Yeah, but
yeah.
we're changing quick.
Yeah.
There's still smoke, so there's not a lot that we can
Yeah, I can't like go on bike rides. I mean, I can, but it's still been kind of hot out here actually recently.
smoke.
Anyway, Ben, do you want to talk about your second? Or I guess,
So my second one. So remember how I was talking about how I needed to get my final class?
Yes.
Because I was so scared. So this is what happened. They said that the restriction for the class was dropping on August 31st, right? And so I was like, oh, well, it's the 28th. Why don't I just type in the code that I normally use to get into, that I would use to get into the class 2 days earlier?
Right.
And it worked for some reason.
Why?
I don't know. It was like, so over the next few days, I saw nobody signing up for the class on the 28th, the 29th, or the 30th, except my friends. And then on the 31st, when it dropped, the minute after it opened, the class was completely filled up. So I'm so glad I got it early, because otherwise I don't know if I would.
Because they didn't think anyone would try that, or because they somehow messed up the coding on the website, you got it in early access, pretty much.
Yeah, exactly. UCI, don't fix your site, please.
That's awesome. That's actually really cool.
Yeah,
That's
really
yeah. Dude, I'm glad you got the class you wanted. That's good. That's always good news.
Yeah, I'm taking math, bio, and chem. So I can't wait to literally die during the first quarter of my school.
Hooray! Yeah. No, seriously, great job on you for getting your first class. Great job on you for doing that. That's good.
Hey, thanks, Oliver. And so, also speaking of good news, so my dad returned last. As you guys know, he was in the hospital, and he's back. He actually came back during episode 19, so he kind of opened the door.
Yeah, he did.
He's like, how are you doing? I'm like, oh, thanks. And then I had to mute myself, so.
Yeah, so Ben, can I actually tell you something pretty funny?
Yeah, go ahead.
At the time, because I think you said, like, oh, sorry about that, your dad came, you're like, oh, sorry about my dad came home, right? At the time, I'm like, okay, yeah, that's cool, whatever. And then only during the edit did I realize, holy shit, this is a big thing. In the moment, my mind just completely went, okay, yep, cool, moving on now. But because again, I listened to these when I edit the podcast, right? So it's like while I was editing it, I went, holy shit, wait, no, this is actually a big thing.
Yeah, it's kind of like
because I think it's like I said something about the time I think at the time I'm like, okay, cool, yeah, whatever. Or I said something very anticlimactic at the time, and I feel like I've been an asshole, so I just want to talk about that now, saying I just didn't realize at the time. I'm so sorry about that.
It was interrupting a podcast, so I wouldn't expect you to be really.
No, because even though we talked about it a little bit earlier that podcast, I had just kind of realized only during the edit that I didn't actually really react to it in the moment, which is very weird.
Fine. No offense taken.
Yeah, sorry about that. Anyway,
no
but
problem.
yeah, your dad's home. That's really good news.
Yeah, why don't you talk about your stuff?
So most of my stuff is college related. So college update. I actually had like a Zoom call with pretty much just people telling us what our classes are going to be and all this, pretty much like general stuff about the school. So the gym, the big fitness center, they opened up I think like last year, 2018, 2017, right? That school year. I think it was actually during 2017, 2018 school. No, sorry. They actually opened up the massive fitness center there, the new one, at SU during 2018, 2019 school year, I think. Anyway, and since I think it was like late 2018, early 2019. Anyway, point being, that brand new fitness center with like so many cool exercise machines in it, it's great. They're gonna be opening it, but limited capacity. More spaced out, limited capacity. No like any sort of like physical like hands-on training, which is anything like wrestling, whatever, that's being not performed there because of COVID. Which I guess that really makes sense. And like also, I mean, to be fair, there's actually a lot of good places for walking. So if you want to do a treadmill, but like, oh sorry, well treadmills are all filled up because of like minimum capacity, right, with the new COVID rules. Just go for a walk. It's great places around to go for walking. So yeah, cool. Actually, you can just like walk into town. It's perfect. Nice like 1.5 mile walk there and back, whatever. Anyway, apart from that, food is gonna be. So they've actually said like we actually have these things I guess called pods, which is just me and my roommate and also my suite mates as well.
Yeah,
so
we have that too.
So like a total, so like it's like I think it's like I'm allowed to eat with my pod, and that's pretty much it. Those 4 people. Like I can interact with other people at other times, like in public spaces, like in non-wide open spaces, you have to have a mask on at all times, which makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I mean, the pod thing is annoying, but I do understand it. In terms of eating, they're gonna try to do like normal buffet style, but sometimes it might just be here's a like you can get like a clamshell, like a box, like a clamshell box, like a to go box of food.
Takeaway, yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. Get like a takeaway burrito, salad, pizza, whatever you want to get, that type of stuff. Or like you can actually ask them like through the because it's like they already have like fully functional like sneeze guards and glass there. Between you and like the actual food.
They give you face shields?
No, I'm talking about like for instance like Subway, they actually have the glass there, right?
Yeah.
It's like that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have that everywhere.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I'm just clarifying for people who don't know what most college cafeterias are like. Yeah, but at least what I've seen. So yeah, they've got like the sneeze guard glass there at all times anyway. So yeah, it might just be that you might either get stuff like normal, or you get it in a container to go, or you just tell like someone else on the other side of glass, like who actually works there, what you want, and they'll actually make it for you, that sort of stuff. Which is, I don't really see the last part happening, but like it's probably just gonna either be normal or to go stuff, which makes sense.
Yeah, it's good that they're doing some stuff for COVID because some people aren't, and they're partying, and it sucks ass.
Yeah, I know. It's really good to see that type of stuff. It's kind of annoying to actually have to do it, but it makes it in the long run. It's actually good. It actually helps. Which yeah. It's like it's like it's kind of annoying to actually have to go through with all it because it is like it does kind of take away from I guess like the college experience, but at the same time it's actually important to help stay safe, stay healthy. Also, it's like it's like wear masks whenever possible, so like that. Obviously, you can't control what you do off campus, but don't be an idiot. That type of stuff. They're not requiring COVID tests for anyone except for athletes who are on athletic scholarship, even though they're not really doing sports. Also like they're like if you show any signs of being sickness, you will be isolated and quarantined for 14 days, stuff like that. So they're pretty. They're going to crack down pretty hard on that type of stuff, which is good. What else? That's honestly about it. Oh yeah, no, sorry. So for this kind of actually bridges my second topic, which is kind of on the slide, which is about roommates. So they have a thing, I guess, where for the roommate thing, right? Like they could, I guess, take back their payment if they don't want to go for this. If they just want to stay at home and do the college from home for the first, I guess, semester, right, up until January. Yeah. They can get the money back for the dorm deposit. So because of that. I didn't have a roommate as of last podcast. Now I do. It's getting kind of shifted around a little bit. I don't even know who the person is because on the website it just says occupied. It doesn't actually say what the name is, like it should. It just says occupied and has their bio, but no name submitted, which is really interesting and very, very weird. Occupied. But to be fair, the bio, I've actually had 3 different roommates assigned like the last week or so it keeps shifting around. At this point, it's kind of like musical chairs, the freaking people in dorm rooms. Because they're trying to do they're trying to put like as much space as possible, which makes sense. Because some people are deciding to stay home, so we have more more open dorm space. So they're not doing singles only for dorms, but they're trying to do as much spacing as possible, which makes a lot of sense. So I think up until like the weekend of it might change, and they actually told us to expect change with that. So I'll keep you guys up to date on how that goes. And it's going to be interesting to see how this goes. But I'm cool with having a roommate. I'm also cool with not having a roommate. So we'll see. Anyway, we gotta move on to our next slide, which is, well, Ben, I think you should probably express this one.
Okay. So, Oliver told me not to swear.
I didn't say don't swear.
Fuck Viasat. They're literally a bag of dicks that can shove a bowling with a goddamn knife and a spoon, and I hate them. They suck.
Viasat is my internet provider. We've tagged myself Instagram post on the Viasat Podcast Instagram account. Have not heard back. Left several comments. Both Ben and I left comments, by the way, on various posts of theirs.
Them for a week.
Have not heard back. No responses at all. I will continue to do it until I get either whatever the fuck Instagram version of cease and desist letters from Viasat, or or an apology of some sort. I don't expect them to fix it. Like we've actually called them several times trying to get them to fix it. They have come up here and they fixed it temporarily. Then they kind of dropped off again, which is annoying. The same thing is I think it's okay anyway. So when I went to upload episode 19, which was only in 540p, I think, right, or 480p, whatever it was, right, something like that, because it was an hour and a half long episode. It only needed to be 720p, It was only like 87 megabytes. It took 5 hours to upload over Viasat. And so once it uploaded, right, I went outside with 1 bar of cell phone service and uploaded. I uploaded a private version just to test it, right? I actually kept. I kept the original version up on YouTube, right? But I uploaded a private version just to test the speed between 1 bar of LTE and the entirety of my internet, right? And it uploaded in 5 minutes over 1 bar of cell phone service versus 5 hours with Viasat. And by the way, tonight
is really bad.
Yeah,
like
tonight
it's better than your DSL though.
Probably. No, it wasn't. It's not.
It's sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah. During the middle of the day, yes, but just at night, no.
Yeah.
Okay, so it is like with downloading games and stuff like that, but like with Zoom calls and stuff like that, no. I mean, like we tried this on Zoom earlier before we like I said before, like now we're recording this outside. Earlier we tried this inside on Zoom, and yeah, it didn't work. We had like 25 seconds of latency. It was horrible. It was disgusting.
It was 30 seconds last week because.
And we can't do it during the day now because all your family is is the renovation still going on in your house then?
Yeah, my renovation's going on until after I leave for school, so it's gonna be for a while.
We can't do it during the day anymore, can we?
We could do it during Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays.
Okay, so we might just have to move so we might just have to move it to Friday then. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So fuck Viasat. You suck. You are horrible. Let's just move on. I don't want to talk about them anymore. They do not really deserve our comments anyway. Let's move on.
It's time for viewer mail, and maybe this is because Oliver's Wi-Fi setup is so shitty because fuck Viasat, or maybe it's because you guys haven't sent us anything. But for the 95,000th week in a row, we have no viewer mail. So.
Yeah, pretty much. It's the formerly viewer mail slide is now empty. I mean, it's no longer called the viewer mail slide, but it's empty now.
It's now called the. Oliver, because you wrote it, you go ahead. Okay, cool. Alright, now let's move on to the wonderful blank slide that is titled the MLB Report.
It's like...
First week where I actually watched an MLB game.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that in a minute. Oh my goodness. Okay, so anyway, so let's start off with the standings. So, as been mentioned, the slide is blank because I realized instead of writing them out like I used to, I can read them off the internet, which is perfect. All right, so okay. NOS, Dodgers leading that with 28 wins and 10 losses. They've been on a major winning streak. Yeah, they've been on a major winning streak. And yeah, just behind them in second place in the NOS. Yeah, so Dodgers lead NOS with a 28 win, 10 loss record. Behind them in the NOS, Padres second place, 23 wins, 16 losses. So it's okay. Anyway, let's move on to NL Central. The Cubs still leading that with 22 wins, 15 losses. The Cardinals are still at 14-14. They've had that whole thing with COVID where their games still not balancing out properly. Now on the NL East, the Braves are leading 22-14, and the Marlins have now dropped down to third place behind the Phillies because now the Phillies have an 18-15 record. So yeah, so again, the Braves leading NL East 22-14. Now let's move on to the American League. So starting out in the AL West, Athletics, aka the Oakland A's, are still on top of that league. 22 wins to 12 losses. They actually had a small COVID thing that caused them to delay one game, but then they kept playing because they actually properly isolated the incident. I believe they're back now. So. They actually took care of that incident, which is good. Like, we've seen some small COVID outbreaks, but at this rate, they've actually said that if they're able to contain it at this rate again, like through the rest of the season, we might actually get to see a full 162 game season next year, which is nice. Because they've had like a few small COVID things, but it's only been like isolated solo, maybe 2 cases per team, and they've been containing it very, very well.
And then the Marlins and the Cardinals, but
yeah, but that was very early on, and both those teams' management staff have been they've been given a talking to by the commissioner of baseball about that, and they're not going to let that happen again.
I think the good thing about it is that there's series, and that the series lasts like a week or so.
It's like 3 or 4 games,
to detect it, you know.
Yeah, it is. It's like 3 or 4 games. That's true. Yeah. Anyway, so now moving to so like AL West, as the A's leading that division with 22 wins, 12 losses. Now we have the Cleveland Indians in the AL Central, 23 wins, 14 losses, and still in the AL East we have the Rays leading that division. 26 wins, 12 losses. They are now 5 games over the Yankees.
They're going to win the World Series.
They might. They've only been in the playoffs, I think,
it.
once or twice. Anyway, so Ben mentioned that he actually watched an MLB game this week, and that's because a couple days ago the Giants played a game that they won 23-5.
It was so sad. It was one of the saddest games. I tuned in for the 8th inning. When it started, the 8th inning, when it
It just
18 to 12
to 2, I think. Yeah, it was an absolute. I think towards the end of it, I didn't watch the ninth because I was doing other things, but I think they actually ended up with a position player pitching, which is interesting and very dumb. It doesn't happen very often.
They
In fact,
didn't have any other pitchers.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm thinking about that as
They couldn't even use the other starters.
I know. But here's I know. But think about this is with the whole pace of play rules, right? They actually have rules now starting this year to stop that from happening. They also have rules now that a pitcher must face at least 3 batters before or finish the inning before being removed. Because it used to be that you could put a guy in and then have him face one guy, then pull him out. You know what I mean? That type of thing. But that caused so many different pitching changes and slowdowns. They decided to make it somewhat faster by.
That sucked, by the way.
Yeah, but seriously, it was just it's 23-5, and then the next game the Giants scored 6 runs and they couldn't score any more. They actually lost. But still, that was a very, very, very fun game to watch for me. It was just ridiculous. If you remember,
I sent you that struggle tweet, right? That was the Colorado Rockies. It was oh yeah, this is our month, and then they were we lost 23-5.
I know. It was. If you remember, for a while, the Rockies were actually leading the division, and the Giants were doing really horrible. Then that kind of over the last 2 weeks, the script kind of flipped. So we ended up with a team that was doing really well, then started being horrible, versus the team that was horrible and started doing really well. So it's kind of interesting matchup there.
Lost because they can only.
Yeah, but still, I mean, 20. If you remember, there was a game during the postseason last year. I think it was between the Cardinals and Braves, and I want to say the NLDS. I want to say one around the NLDS last year. Anyway, where the Cardinals scored 13 runs in the first inning, and that was about it. That was about it for the rest of the game. That they actually won that game and then won the series. I think it was last year in the NLDS. Anyway, so that was really interesting. Also, though, sad news: Hall of Fame pitcher Tom Seaver passed away at the age of 75. Dementia and other such things. That's really sad. They've been posting some highlights and stuff on Instagram with the MLB account, and he was just a great guy. He talked to fans a lot. He was very well spoken. He he did interviews perfectly. He was a great guy, nice to fans, nice to other players. Just a really great guy. Only 75, which to be fair is not really that old in terms of just people being alive nowadays. But it's just So. Yeah, R.I.P. Rest in peace, Tom Seaver. All right. So anyway, that being said, we're gonna get to move on now. It's a Ben slide.
Okay, so my slide's entire premise is non-college schools opening up for COVID, right? But before we do that, I think I kind of want to let you guys know a bit more about the colleges that have been opening up for COVID.
Yeah.
So this is an official Waste of Time podcast guarantee. If you open up for majority in-person classes and you do not shut down your frat parties, you will see upwards of 100 cases in the first week if you are a moderate to large-size university.
Yeah.
There is no going against that. University of Alabama at Tuscaloosa saw that. Iowa State saw that. Purdue has seen 70 cases because they're pretty good at this. But there's a lot, if you're a party school, you should not reopen because some dumb kids are let's party and spread COVID to everyone.
No, thank you.
Yeah, exactly. That's why we are not going to party schools.
Yeah.
I don't think Southern Oregon University.
Well, I mean, they definitely have parties, but they're not doing that this year, obviously, because of COVID. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's talk about other schools. You got your elementary, you got your high schools, you got your middle schools. And your preschools. You've seen a lot of kids having to go to school across the nation. We saw this in Georgia remember that picture that you put in of Georgia that was
Yep. I must say episode 17 or 18 we talked about that, yeah.
Yeah, it was very... I think it was around 16 actually.
Also, because that was not a stock image either. Even though it did look like it, it was an actual image. So
yeah, and the person that posted that photo to the internet got expelled from that school for posting the photo.
Oh.
Because of course. Yeah,
Ooh.
free speech, guys. Free speech. Anyways, so in my humble opinion, unless you're in a place like New York City, even if you are in a place like New York City, you should not be opening up for in-person classes if you are not a college. And let me explain. So, even if you are a college, you shouldn't be opening up for in-person classes.
Yeah.
We all need to recognize that this is the new normal for now. Until we get a vaccine that is viable and proven with phase 3 trials and strong evidence that it works, there is no reason for you to continue in-person classes.
Absolutely.
Because
Ben?
Fucking everyone over.
I want to apologize to everyone else. There's chickens in the background.
See, if you open up for in-person classes, you're one of those. You're a chicken. That's the sound effect.
Yeah, pretty much. No. I mean, not sound effect. There are actually chickens in at my neighbor's house that are making noise now. My neighbor's yard is chickens. And since they're outside, you can hear them because fuck you, Viasat. That's why.
All right, so that was basically all I had to say about that. My slide's really short today.
Okay, do not be surprised if you hear gunshots because fuck you, Viasat.
Okay. That's Oliver shooting the camera. So, Here we go. Now it's time for our weekly segment, and I think I'm going to do the Patreon, and Oliver's going to do the vaccine because we're going to switch it up. All right, here we go. And I also have a little bit of vaccine news to talk about. So, for Patreon, Oliver and I, we were talking the other day in the DMs. We weren't actually doing this. We were talking in the DMs, and then he said, Ben, why is nobody subscribed to our Patreon? And I told him, Oliver, it's because we tell people not to subscribe to our Patreon. He's like, oh, yeah, right. It would be really stupid if somebody did that. And I was like, yeah, I would. We were right. Do not, never subscribe to our Patreon. The link is in the description if you're really fucking into it. Listen, we're gonna send you a blank screen if you get it. We're gonna call you honestly, we're just gonna call you a piss boy. That's gonna be the highest tier. It doesn't say, but I swear I will call you on this show. I'll go and I'll call you a piss boy. That's the most you'll get out of
I
this.
don't know if that's even gonna. No, I'll say no to that. We're not doing that.
You'll get access to the post show, which is just Oliver and I screaming about Doug Walker for 15 minutes.
That was one of them, yeah.
And you'll also get blank screens, a lot of blank screens, and we can send them whenever we want. So make sure to not support our podcast in the description. Remember, any money you give us will be used for drugs and video games and alcohol. So thank you very much.
Okay.
In Minecraft.
Still okay. That's. You want to go explain that, Ben, or?
So basically, the joke is that everybody always thinks that when they give money to people, all they're going to do is spend it on drugs and alcohol. And I want to tell you
that you're absolutely fucking right. Yeah.
You're completely right. Yeah, 100%.
Absolutely fucking right. Yeah.
Better themselves. What? No, they only buy drugs and alcohol. 100%. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. So please do not donate to our Patreon. This is not reverse psychology.
Actually, no. If you donate to our Patreon, I'll send you a master file bundle of a black screen of nothingness for 20 minutes. A 48 gigabyte master file from freaking Motion and Final Cut Pro.
Pay us $5 and we will crash your computer.
Yeah, okay? Pretty much. Master files would be the dumbest. Like, to be fair, I actually edited this podcast on Final Cut Pro last week, right? And Ben, you want to know the size of the fucking master file?
Yeah, wasn't it like 584 gigs or something?
587, very close. That
gigs, and you have a terabyte of storage.
Yeah.
So you used almost half your storage.
No, Ben, I know, Ben. So I did not. I actually went back and edited it, and I saved it as a 720p thing, which is only about not even one.
Oh, I thought it would be like 20 gigs. I feel like because it's just a still image.
No, because remember I also compressed it as well. I compressed it even. I used the compressor thing, which is a pain in the ass, but and
it works.
It gets stuff done.
And it makes our audio quality even better. So here's the second one.
So while you should not subscribe to our Patreon, what you should do is subscribe to the idea and also just get the fucking subscribe to the idea of the vaccine when it's available. Fucking get it. Get the vaccine. Yes. Ploob Ooble says get the vaccine.
100%.
Ploob Ooble is my iPad's name, by the way, if you didn't know.
Now, I do actually want to okay, first off, I'm going to start this off by saying I am not anti-vax, not even fucking close.
Yeah.
I think you should be mandated as a child to have your flu vaccine. Somebody should
Absolutely.
tie you down to the fucking
I actually got my flu vaccine. I actually got my
shot.
flu shot. I think on I want to say Saturday from the pharmacy.
Yeah.
From Rite Aid.
You got a flu shot? Oh, I'm trying to get my flu shot soon. So
I got mine from Rite Aid Pharmacy.
All right. I just didn't. Anyways, so recently there's been some talk in the news about the idea that the CDC is preparing people to have the vaccine out 2 days before Election Day. And I just want to say a few things. The Trump campaign is really stupid in doing this because they have obviously shown that they don't give a shit about human lives, and they're just waiting to have vaccines out by Election Day. And second, I also want to remind you, when the vaccine comes out in November and October, that is not the end. You still need to get it after all the emergency workers and other people have gotten it.
Yeah, it's going to be going to essential service workers first, and it's going to take a while for the general public to be able to get this reliably. Yeah, as like a guarantee.
So,
what's up, Ben?
Oliver just sent me a movie. Oh no, it just came in. Anyway,
no, I just sent it.
I want to be very.
I'm sending it again, Ben.
That we at the Waste of Time podcast here do give a shit about vaccine safety.
Yes.
And if the vaccine is not completed with phase 3 trials, I would 100% suggest for you to wait until then to get it. But you're probably going to do that anyways, because again, the phase 3 trials happen before the emergency. They're going to happen before you get it, and they're probably going to happen after the emergency workers get it. That's when they're going to be completed. Yeah. So right now we have 2 good vaccine candidates that are being produced, mass production, and they look like they're going to be successes. I hope. I'm praying. But
we all are.
We still don't know, and when we end up getting a viable vaccine that has been proven safe by scientific journals, you need to fucking get it. It's your duty to
as soon as possible if we have a proven one. Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly. But again, don't go. I mean, I'm not telling you not to get the vaccine because it has been shown to have no significant impact in most human beings that have taken it in phase 2 trials. So that's pretty good. The only caveat is I'm saying just wait till the end of the phase 3. And I think the Trump administration should do that as well. But who am I to talk? I'm not even a medical expert at all. So, let's move into our second very depressing shit. Here we go. So, it's time for your weekly Fuck 12.
And coming at you live from San Francisco, this is your weekly Fuck 12. That's right, weekly Fuck 12, where we break down some of the shittiest things that the cops did this week.
If Oliver wants me to watch this thing, I'll watch it. Okay.
What was it,
Oliver
Ben?
sent me a video of just the words ball sack. Now, anyways.
It was in 3D text using motion. I created that just now in like the last 5 minutes during the podcast.
Oh my god. Anyways, let's transition from that into police brutality in the United States. Okay, so that's not a laughing matter. It was just very it was just, it's a weird transition. Yeah. But that's how we roll on the West Time podcast. So, weekly Fuck 12, here we go. It all starts in DC. This man named Deon K was murdered. He had a licensed gun. He had the license to carry in DC. And basically, the police, after he threw it to the side, they fucking murdered him. And people have been posting videos online and like, he and his friends had guns. Oh no, they had guns. And it's like, are you a conservative that likes the Second Amendment?
Yeah, because like it's very confusing whenever people post this. Because like, one, these people also like support what they think of. Oh, everyone should have a gun. In Second Amendment. Blah 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 blah. I can have a gun whenever I fucking want. But also at the same time, if someone else has a gun, then it's bad. You can't be on both sides here. You literally can't. They're polar opposites. Either you think that everyone should have a right to have a gun, or no one should. You can't just apply it to yourself. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I think they think that only people that agree with them should have the right to a fucking gun.
And in most cases, that means only white people should have a gun, yeah.
Yeah, that's not how the thing works. I mean, yes, only socialists should have guns, but that's not the point. Let's talk about the second one. So there was a man who had a mental disability. His name was Daniel Prude, and he was having a mental breakdown. And his brother called the police, and what did the police do? They fucking suffocated him and killed him on the spot. Awesome. Great. This is why we need the police for mental health, guys. We totally need the police, an armed force, to have people survive mental breakdowns, right, Oliver? When we were going through mental breakdowns, the one thing we want is to be knocked on the door by police, right?
Yeah. And also, like, they don't know what the fuck they're doing when they're anything about this. It's not their job to police mental breakdowns, really.
It shouldn't be their job, but it is.
Yeah, no, you're right. It should not be, but for some fucking reason it is. Even if they've got no idea what is actually going on with the person or any previous medical history at all, and then, what do you know, they suffocate someone.
Yep. And you combine it with racism, and you got yourself a big mental health crisis in this country. Police are not helping.
No.
So, defund the police. Anyways,
Yep.
next thing we want to talk about is actually, so we have some good, funny, and then funny/good news. Let's talk first about Massachusetts. So there was this man, Joe Kennedy. I don't know if you've heard of him, Oliver. He has a pretty obscure family name and a family history of the Kennedys. No idea about them.
Yeah. I wonder who.
My name
Yeah.
is JFK, and boy, I sure do feel so very gosh darn safe in my automobile.
Okay, Ben? What's with the Cleveland Show parody?
Is it too soon for that?
No. I mean, the show that song was parodying went off the air in, was it 2013?
Yeah, well, JFK went off the air in 1965. But, I'm so sorry.
No. That's good. That's really that's good.
It was probably, it was 1963. I don't even know my history. Anyway, so the first time a Kennedy ever lost in Massachusetts was Joe the Third Kennedy. There have been 3 Joe Kennedys, and 2 of them have won for the Senate seat in Massachusetts, and one of them was Joe the Third Kennedy. He lost to Ed Markey.
Wait,
now,
as in Kennedy, as in all from the same family, or from different families?
All from the same family.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so basically, Ed Markey was this guy that not a lot of people knew about, except in Massachusetts. He was a senator, and he was fine, I guess. He did vote for the Iraq War. He did vote for the crime bill. He did vote for a lot of stuff. But then he realized one day, like in 2016 or whatever, maybe he thought his voters were leftists, or maybe he kind of saw the way. And he started supporting Medicare for All, the Green New Deal, canceling student loan debt. And he started supporting it, not like a grifter supports it, but like full time, just supporting it day and night and fighting for it and writing the bills. And then Joe Kennedy was just like, I'm exactly like that. And, there's this really funny tweet by him that said, nobody should have to suffer rent strikes in a pandemic without a lawyer by their side. And no, nobody should ever have to suffer rent shortages in a pandemic ever.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
There should never be people that don't fucking pay for it. And Markey was just like, oh, okay. And like, Joe Kennedy had no charisma. He literally said that the worst part of you have to look at this video. So there's this debate between them, and the question was, what is it that your wife finds the most suffocating about you? And Joe Kennedy said, oh, she doesn't like to touch my feet at all. And Ed Markey said, I like the Red Sox too much. Obviously, the Red Sox guy is gonna win, right?
Yeah.
It's Massachusetts.
Yes, exactly.
He's a worse politician than the other dude. And yeah, Markey won, and that's really good news. But sadly, there's been a smear campaign against this other Massachusetts guy. His name's Alex Morse. He was running against Richard Neal, who was this super conservative Democrat I really don't like him. Basically ran a smear campaign that said he's gay, he hooked up with young kids. But it wasn't like young kids means college kids that consented and weren't in his class or whatever. So it's very homophobic, really stupid. And, he lost as a result to that because local media didn't correct the story. So, we win some, we lose some. But we got Markey back, and that's all that matters.
All right, so...
We have one we have a funnier story.
No, we actually have 2 stories.
So first, Ted Cruz was trying to ban Plan B. Okay. Stupid. He's dumb. He's Ted Cruz.
But Ben, do you want to read what the slide actually says now about Ted Cruz?
It says, okay, Ted, smile. The Zodiac Killer is at it again. Yeah, the next story is completely related to Ted Cruz. You want to talk about it, Oliver?
So in LA, at least I think it was LA. This was on the news yesterday on various different news sites. A man with a jetpack, which by the way, those are not science fiction. Those do actually, technically speaking, exist. You can't just go out and buy one, but the people have been building these jetpacks do actually exist. Was flying one around an airport, around like the runways, and like there's actually I'll see if I can find like an actual link to it though. But there was some very funny dialogue going between the pilot and the control tower. As you can imagine, like a tower, there's a man in a jetpack on our left-hand side.
Was it a social media stunt? I feel like it was a social media stunt.
I mean, still, but the point is, it's still a person in a jetpack.
Yeah,
it's,
I mean...
it's still, it's like, what the fuck? Do you feel like, with all the bad news going around, like with all like very dark and depressing news, all this COVID stuff, this is exactly what we need. And of course it comes out of LA. Because, I mean, where else would you see this? Apart from maybe Florida or Arizona where the heat's gotten to their head, yeah.
Definitely
but, I mean,
Florida.
LA,
like,
come
no.
on.
The question is, where else would you see this in America? You can always answer Florida. Like,
Ben, unless the question is, where else would you find good decisions, then you can't.
There's probably someone in Florida that's like that.
Yeah. No, but but also there's actually a place that makes like non for private use. Like I say, it's for private use. It's like a company that is experimenting with stuff like this, right? But it's not for sale, not for commercial sale use. And they actually asked them, like, we got no idea where this thing came from. So, I mean, oh my God. So anyway, point being, a couple of airlines were disrupted in landing, no injuries. It was just funny. Also, the guy has not been caught because the thing is, he didn't just drive off in a car. He could be up, he could be down, he could be flying places, he could be in a car, he could be like. To be fair, you're not just looking at XYZ axis. You're looking at multiple places when you're trying to find this guy. Because remember, he could just go on a roof of something.
Yeah, I mean, fucking...
I mean, like, there are some reports saying it was a drone with a mannequin, but then at closer inspection, mannequins, they're pretty heavy. And there was some decent amount of wind, and a drone with that type of stuff, it's not really a good idea.
You can't have a drone and a mannequin. It's definitely a fucking jetpack.
Yeah, no, it is. And again, like, those things do actually exist. We're not talking about, like, one of the hydro-powered jetpacks. Those have been around for a while. If you've ever gone to a Giants game, there's pretty much always somebody out in McCovey Cove with one of those hydro-powered jetpacks on the boat. There's actually a very famous news clip. Have you seen the news clip about the guy who was like testing one out for the news and accidentally slammed himself on the side of a boat? Whatever, that was funny. But so there was an idiot with a jetpack in LA. That's how we finish up our news slide. And now with that, we can actually move on to the next slide, which is of course the Xbox deals of the week. Now, before we get into the actual deal sale this week, which is actually kind of interesting, I'm going to talk about the new free gold games for the month. Now, currently, the free gold games are as follows. Tom Clancy's The Division. It's a good game, but it is a GAAS game, so games as a service, meaning single player. It can be single player multiplayer, but you have to be online to play it. I played it today, and let me just tell you, it's a fun game, but... You know, I'm sneaking around. It's open where we shoot people. You know, sneaking around, doing some stealth. I'm doing some kind of stealthy kind of stuff in the beginning of the game, right? I kill an enemy, and then he dies about 2 seconds later because of lag. And in those 2 seconds, he can actually shoot you back. Thank you, Viasat. In those 2 seconds, the enemies can actually shoot you back. So, it's a fun game, but with online, it's always online, which is annoying, even if you're just playing by yourself. Which is kind of like Destiny in that regard. Which is kind of great game. Kind of annoying. It's kind of like, it's also kind of like, Ben, I don't know if you saw the trailer, but like that Marvel Avengers game came out this week. Have you seen that trailer for that?
See that?
It looks, from what I've seen of it, it's okay. But it's like games as a service, right? I mean, it's Avengers. It makes sense you want to, play with other teammates. That makes sense. But also, just like Batman, just like Gotham Knights.
It's for the companies because they want to get a shit ton of money.
I know, but true,
yeah.
But like they also said like all the new characters are gonna be free, whatever. Anyway, point being, but with Gotham Knights, the new Batman style, the new Bat Family game, which we talked about last week, it's coming out in 2021, right? They already said that's gonna have team-based multiplayer, right? A multiplayer co-op story, but can also be played single player offline. It's not that much difficult in terms of like a coding standpoint for them to make a single player offline campaign that can also be accessed as multiplayer. You know what I mean? Instead, they decided to go almost all online, which is fucking great. Okay. Anyway, yeah, Tom Clancy's The Division, great game, very fun game, at least in my opinion, but you have to have solid internet to play it. At least, I mean, like, you can play it with satellite internet or some latency, but just expect
Not
a little bit of.
Viasat, though.
Yeah, I played it. It's just expect some delay between, like, for instance, when you actually kill an enemy, when they actually stop shooting, you actually die. So yeah, some latency, but like it can still be played, just not exactly as enjoyably as it could be. But Tom Clancy Division overall a very fun game. That's goal for you right now. Now Override Mech City Brawl, that will be replaced by another game on the 15th of the month. Right, the 16th of the month of September, of course. But for right now, that's still up there. I actually started playing that today. It's a very cool game. It's like a mech fighting game, but not like a 2D. Like Street Fighter kind of fighting game. It's like a 3D environment kind of fight. It's very interesting. It's kind of hard to explain. It's just a very fun little fighting game. So yeah, Override, Mech City Brawl. That's a fun fighting game. It's up there right now. It'll be up there till the 16th of the month. Go pick that up for Xbox Live Gold members. And then of course, The Blob 2 is a 360 backwards compatible title. I don't know what this is. I did not bother to look at it. It's called The Blob 2. DEBLOB 2.
That's not what it says on the slide.
I know Ben. Ben, without even looking at it, I knew what you edited to say. I'm not reading that. Okay, so anyway, moving on to my deals of the week. Now, so these are deals. I'm not doing gold deals for this week. These are deals for everyone. We're going back to Ubisoft publisher game sales. Now, this is kind of interesting because this is, so from what I saw on Xbox anyway, on the deals page, this will be a thing. This deal's gonna be going for 2 weeks. However, next week, there'll be slightly different deals. So the publisher of the sale for 2 weeks is going to be Ubisoft. But next week, there'll be different prices on games and different games available on deals, which is going to be kind of interesting. So 2 weeks, but just with alternating deals, which is kind of interesting. So we got, this week is Far Cry 5 plus Far Cry New Dawn Complete Edition. That's the games, all the DLCs, right? For Far Cry 5, Far Cry New Dawn. And those games put together with all DLC used to be $100. Now it's $30. Rainbow Six Siege Deluxe Edition. I don't play this game. My internet sucks ass. But I've seen him play. I've actually played it at my friend's house. It's a fun game. That game, Deluxe Edition was $40. Now $10. Pretty cool. And now Assassin's Creed Legendary Collection, which is 6 games. Every game from I think it's every series. I think it's like every main series game from Black Flag onwards. In one big pack. That's 6 games. Was $199.99. So it was $200, now $59. It was the price of a Xbox One S, and is now the price of an Xbox game, if that makes any sense. So pretty interesting. Also,
why the hell would they sell it for so much?
I mean, to be fair, it's 6 games with all the DLC included, stuff like that, which is a lot.
Oh, okay, makes sense. It's actually a good deal.
Anyway, but yeah, it's a lot of good games. Also, another deal against Assassin's Creed Odyssey base game, which I played the base game. I only got the DLC kind of recently, but I enjoyed the base game for like a year and a half. It's just good. I mean, the base game is just an absolutely incredible game, in my opinion. I did not get the season pass for that for Assassin's Creed for Odyssey to a couple months ago, but like I had the game since day one in 2018, and great game. Assassin's Creed Odyssey, $14.99. This deal's pretty good. Also, Xbox Store got a major visual overhaul, and I love it. The Xbox One came out back in late holiday time 2013. It's been pretty similar. It's had some revisions.
7 years, bro.
Yeah, I know. It's had some revisions as to how it's come out. It's had some revisions as to how the store looks over the years, but this is a major overhaul, and apparently it's supposed to kind of reflect what we're going to see when the Series X comes out with the Series X's Xbox Store, when that comes out in probably holiday time 2020. And it looks pretty cool. Anyway, let's move on now to Ben's side of the quarantine media slide.
Oh, yeah. So I haven't been playing many games recently. Besides, of course, the usual Animal Crossing New Horizon. I kind of stopped playing Breath of the Wild, sadly, because I completed it. I'm a
Golden
dumbass,
Poop.
I tried starting it again.
That was
fun. And then it's so boring when you try to start
Golden
it again.
Poop.
What?
The Golden Poop quest.
I want the Golden Poop.
Anyone who's...
Anyways.
I had that game on the Wii U for a while, 100% in it, and that was the Golden Poop quest.
100% of it? I never got the Golden Poop quest, by the way.
I think it was collecting all this, the seeds, whatever it was called. You get a gold
seeds?
Yeah, you get a Golden Poop. And it says it probably smells pretty bad. It's great.
That sounds awesome. Anyways, so for television, I started watching a ton more shows. I didn't put all of them down.
Sorry, I did not get the Golden Poop quest on my version. I actually got that from my friend on his Switch when I played at his house during, I guess, his summer of last year. But yeah. Anyway, yeah, the Golden Poop quest is funny.
Oh shit. Okay, so for television, here we go. I watched quite a lot of TV recently because I've been nowhere. It's all on Netflix, by the way, because I don't have Hulu and I don't have any other streaming service, and I don't really plan on getting Disney Plus because Disney, ew. Anyways, let's talk about how to sell drugs online fast. It's a very corny German, English, Spanish show with Dutch elements. It's one of the weirdest shows I have personally ever watched, and I love it. It's really good. I would suggest you watch it. It's on Netflix. It's called How to Sell Drugs Online Fast. I finished The Legend of Korra, and can I just say that the messaging in that show was poo-poo. I dislike, major dislike. Especially the fourth the fourth season was just okay.
Oh, all right.
The worst enemies for Korra were the obviously coded communist guy and then the obviously coded anarchist guy. But the fascist girl, Kuvira, well, she could be redeemed. So it was kind of like, I mean, I guess that the writers have no idea. It just feels like they don't know what they're fucking talking about, and it seems like they're just
So this is still.
shit.
I felt it was an enjoyable show, though, to be honest. Unless you go like deep into analysis of it, was still a very enjoyable show, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, the art style's very awesome. The story, if you take it without the political messaging, which is like the majority of the story, I guess it's fine. The animation was fucking awesome. The bending powers was great. I loved seeing it in the 1920s.
There were also some. I'd say there are a couple of I'd say there's some kind of dark scenes later on in that show as well.
Yeah, there's like poison and disability.
And was it lead and metal and stuff? I mean, yeesh.
That was very.
That's a legitimate torture scene, is what that is. All right.
Yeah, I mean, but like the whole point was to get into whatever.
Yeah,
We're not talking about Avatar. I've watched too many Avatar fan theories.
Yeah, okay.
Kids show, Jesus.
Yeah.
Anyways, so it's like that. I also started watching Narcos Mexico, which, if you don't know, is about drugs. Also started watching The Business of Drugs, which I don't know what that's about actually.
Why are you watching so many shows about drugs, Ben?
Anyways, so I started a business online. Don't ask me what it's called. You can find it through Tor. Just send money to my Bitcoin address and you'll get something in return. Anyways, recently for film, I've not watched anything.
That's new. That's interesting. You normally watch movies, don't you?
I normally watch a movie a week, but since my dad's been home, I totally forget if we watched a movie, and I forget if it was good or not, and I just forget it. I literally forgot. Fuck. Anyways, for music, I've been listening to this wonderful, wonderful, wonderful band that everybody here should definitely listen to. It's called 100...
Go ahead.
Hold up. 100 Gex. GEC.
Oh, I didn't even open the link you sent me.
It sounds like a auto-tune death. Somebody died while doing auto-tune and smoking a shit ton of meth. It is very wonderful. Also, the song Black Star by David Bowie, pretty good. I enjoy it. It's very long, that's what she said, but it's very good, that's what she said.
Ben, what's going on in the background? I hear a lot of background noise on your end.
My brother is playing Fortnite a bit too loudly, so...
Okay. So is that it there for you?
Nothing we can do about that. For games, I've recently not been playing Fortnite. By the way, my brother, he said, people that like Fortnite and that hate Fortnite can both agree it takes the most skill out of any competitive game.
No. I just want
Because of the building aspect, he says.
I'm not even... We can go into... We can have an hour-long discussion on why that's not true, but we should not do that because we're almost at an hour anyway for this podcast.
Yeah, I think fucking Fall Guys is more fucking... It's better.
Yeah.
More.
Okay, so anyway, anything else you've been playing, Ben? That's it?
Yeah, I've also started listening to Radiohead again.
Cool.
Because, yes, I'm a Redditor.
Yeah. That's
I'm a Redditor ever. Yay. What about you, Oliver?
So for music, my Power Rock playlist, which Ben did not change the name of this time, hooray. Power Rock playlist, a lot of metal, Still listening to. I actually added Hallelujah to my Nifty playlist. I've been listening to my Nifty playlist a lot. Good songs on there. Again, link to my Power Rock playlist in the description below, along with Ben's playlist from... Ben, whatever playlist you gave me, 2 months ago is the one that's linked down there. I thought I changed it.
Aesthetic sauce. There's also Lemonade Stand if you want to just check it. All my podcasts... all my playlists are just pictures of ducks.
Honestly, including all the timestamp stuff last time, the freaking podcast, the description was I think it was 1,200 characters.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Also, why does YouTube let you have a 5,000 character description? Who would want to read that?
Raid Shadow Legends.
Oh, no.
For games, hold up. I've actually been playing a lot of Raid Shadow Legends.
Ben? Fuck off. No. Actually,
Who's off? And where can I find them?
Boo. Boo. Alright, so anyway, for me, Power Rock playlist, power metal such as Dragon Force, some lighter metal such as Black Sabbath, Nifty playlist, Weird Al because I don't fucking know why. Funny.
He's good.
Bare Naked Ladies.
Amish Paradise.
He got in trouble for not because Amish didn't like it, because I doubt any Amish actually heard that song because of Amish. But no, because the creator of the original song that he parodied was not happy with it at all.
Oh.
It's a parody. You can't. It's again, parody law is very forgiving and does not literally lawsuits pretty much never hold up a lot because of parody law. It's very interesting when we look into it. Anyway, for both music and film parody too.
Not YouTube though.
Well, I mean, it's also it's okay. Anyways, yeah, music, Weird Al, a lot of metal music, power rock playlist, rock music, Weezer, Green Day, other power rock stuff like that. Just a little bit. So not that much Weezer. Some of their older stuff. Anyway, what?
Nothing. Just the entire cover album when they did covers of Africa.
God. Actually, the Alpha cover I think was alright. It was pretty good. I like that one.
Okay. I mean, it's Weezer.
Yeah, it is Weezer.
Weezer's fine.
Yeah. Anyway, it's okay. Anyway, so for games, a little bit of Forza. Got the new car, the Bentley, and that one. The weekly car is pretty cool. I've heard there's actually a new weekly car on Ashburn. I'm gonna take a look at that one tonight. See what the new weekly car is right now. So I've actually not checked for this season what the new weekly car is right now because it's Thursday. So yay, cool. Anyway, so yeah, Forza a little bit. Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, Call of Duty World War II, Call of Duty Mobile using a controller because fuck yes, I just dropped my iPad on the ground. Because Call of Duty Mobile using controller, which is just I enjoy it. It's a lot of fun with the controller. It feels pretty similar to console COD, which I actually really do enjoy. Without the aim assist, and to be fair, I don't think I've actually used aim assist in any game in a very long time because it's not really helpful anyway, especially not if you're doing sniping stuff. Apart from that, MLB The Show 20, a little bit of The Division, as I said before, and a little bit of Mech City Override, as well as some more Batman Arkham, which is fun for TV. Titans, The Flash. We'll catch up with some of that before the season 7 thing starts filming. Hopefully towards the end 2021, maybe 2022. Paradise PD because fuck it. Family Guy because I don't know. I don't really give a shit. Giants games on TV because they've been actually doing pretty well. And also for film, Justice League Dark Apocalypse. Holy fuck, so many people die. So many people die in that film. So many heroes get killed. Half the Teen Titans die in that movie. That was sad. But
Damn, spoilers.
I mean, the film, it's been out for a few months now. I mean, yeah. I mean, Starfire gets ripped in half in that film. It's. I mean, you don't see it, but you see her body ripped in half. It's pretty gruesome. I mean, it's a rated R animated film, so it's an animated film, but it's rated R for a very good reason. That's on DC Universe now, but yeah, it's a good film though. And to be fair, comic books heroes have a way of coming back, so they're probably going to return at some point in the animated universe in the future. That kind of DC's actually kind of DC's kind of left some, I try to say, doors open for how they can all return, which is pretty interesting. Like some of them. Anyway. That's probably gonna do it. So Ben, do you want to read the outro for this one? I've actually got no idea what you wrote for this one.
Yeah. So basically, we're always looking for fucking
Oh, I just read
Amazing
it.
viewer
I
mail.
just see what you wrote.
You normally uses lyrics for a 100 Gex song sent to Jenkins123, Jenkins123@gmail.com. So I think, actually, for this outro, we're going to spice up a little bit, and we're going to read you some of 100 Gex's lyrics. So, one of the first songs I've ever wrote is called Money Machine, and the intro goes like this. Hey, you little piss baby. You think you're so fucking cool, huh? You think you're so fucking tough? You talk a lot of big game for someone with such a small truck. Anyways, so yeah, Jenkins123, please make sure to send the same thing that I just said in the exact same order that I just did. Thank you very much, and we will see you in the next one. Peace, bitches.
Nah, you're gonna die, dude. Alright, I'll make your body into barbecue sauce. Do you understand? Do you understand?